Here we go. It's the Friday quiz. And we will be just going right into it here. So, let's start up some music for our weekly quiz and see what we get out of this. So yeah, this is a new thing I'm going to be trying out. Just provide some variety to the Gaming with Dad show. I know there is a perfectly functional system for on Twitch for this called QuizKit, but hey, this isn't Twitch. So let's go on ahead, but first let's get some rules down here. There are no points. I mean, you can make up a point system if you feel better about it that way. Just, it's for fun. So you write down your answers. I will be timing out. You will see a picture and then be presented with some answers, and you'll have about 30 seconds to decide which of those answers is correct. Write it down, keep it in your memory, do whatever it is that you want to do. Because once again, Rule 3 says this is only for fun. Rule 2, there are no prizes. The Gaming with Dad show is not giving anything away outside of fun and enjoyment. Or, if you don't enjoy it, I guess, downvotes. But hey, this is just one of those things. I'm trying something new here. So once again, this is just for fun. And rule number 4, if at any time the answer is incorrect or I say something wrong, there's no harm because of rules number 1 and 2. So, let's go on ahead. Let's see what the subject of this week's quiz is. And that is games I played growing up. Now, most of you will know I'm old. I'm older than dirt. Therefore, these are going to be some classic games. So, let's hope that you are good and ready to go for question number 1, because here we go. So, this is clue number 1. As all quizzes and quiz hosts know, you try to let the person or the audience get the first couple of them right. They're pretty easy. So that is, don't think that you're outwitting me because I accidentally left you clues here. This is all intentional. So, here we go. Is it Kill the Bard, Something Something Bard, The Legend of El Cid, or The Bard's Tale? So, we'll give you here just a few seconds more. Come up with your answer. Anybody who has watched enough of the Gaming with Dad show will tell you this game has a special spot in my heart. So, let's take a look here. Kill the Bard is, of course, not a game. It's more of a strategy I always take in Dungeons and Dragons when I'm playing with my friends. If there's a bard, I will kill them. Something Something Bard is just some stupid gubbins I made up, so don't worry about that. And The Legend of El Cid was just me trying to trick those folks who can't read the entire screen, because, yeah, that's right. This is, of course, The Bard's Tale for the Commodore 64. Most excellent game where, growing up, I got the honor of being map boy for my older brother. Moving on to question 2. Anybody who's interested, the background music that is playing right now is called Fluffing a Duck. I thought it oddly fitting for the Gaming with Dad show. I just don't know. Okay, question number 2. Here we go. Can you name this game? Is it A, Pac-Man? B, Gobble? C, Overeating the American Way? Or D, Taxman? We'll give you 9 more seconds here. Just for the record, Overeating the American Way is the name of my prog rock second album that I've released. That said, let's go through these. Believe it or not, Gobble doesn't seem to exist. I mean, at least not as far as I can tell. It's highly likely somewhere someone made an open source Pac-Man clone called that, but damned if I'm too lazy to look into that. So yes, it's not Gobble. Overeating the American Way is just something I thought was funny, but this isn't it. Taxman is a most excellent Pac-Man clone for the Apple II. But once again, this isn't Taxman. This is, of course, the quarter-gobbling game Pac-Man. Originally called Puckman, but had to be changed for fear of American teenagers turning that B into an F. So, here we are with question number 3. And just so that everybody is aware, this is the last of the gimmies. So, is this game the Gianna Sisters, Super Mario Brothers, Racial Stereotype Plumber, or how many shrooms did they take? Again, this should be easy for everybody here. How many shrooms did they take is just a question that everybody on my dorm floor asked whenever we'd play this game. And yeah, this isn't it. Racial Stereotype Plumber is just evidence that the last type of people we can make fun of is overweight, middle-aged white guys with killer porn stashes. Gianna Sisters is a Mario clone of some renown, but this is Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So here we go. On with, if anybody can count, it's question number 4. So, what is this game? Is it Planetary Defense, Astro Smash, Asteroids, Space Hawk? Okay, we're wrapping up this quiz time here. So, Space Hawk is another game for the Intellivision where you battle the titular Space Hawk. This isn't Space Hawk. Asteroids is actually the game this one was meant to compete with, but is much more recognizable in the zeitgeist. So, Planetary Defense is a game for the Nintendo Switch. It looks like it's a tower defense, although, I have no idea because I haven't played it, don't even own it. So, yes, this is Astro Smash for the Mattel Intellivision. So, question number 5. Here we go. We've got a guy running around. We've got some computers. We've got some robots with stalk eyes. This office furniture, a soda machine. So now the question is this Doctor Who and the Daleks, Spy Hunters, Impossible Mission, or Cloak and Dagger? Go on ahead, I'll give you 10 more seconds here to think about this. Time is up. So let's go through these answers and figure out which one it isn't. So, Doctor Who and the Daleks. Well, completely understandable because of the Dalek-esque looking robots there. This is not it. Doctor Who and the Daleks is actually the second serial ever produced. It was a movie with Peter Cushing in it. This isn't Doctor Who and the Daleks. Spy Hunters is just Spy Hunter with an S. In Spy Hunter, you drive a car, you shoot people, and you drive into the back of a truck, as though you were Knight Rider. That's not the right answer. Cloak and Dagger is a movie tie-in game released in 1984 to correspond with the movie Cloak and Dagger. Since this is not Dabney Coleman in the screenshot, it is clearly not Cloak and Dagger. This is Impossible Mission, released also in 1984 for the Commodore 64. Everybody keeping up with me here? God, I hope so, because this is question number 6. We got 4 more questions to go. And remember, this is all just for fun. And remember, these are all games I played growing up. So we'll take a quick look here at this. We've got a guy running through a maze with somebody dropped jacks on the floor. There appears to be some kind of bird or bat type thing over on the right hand side. So then answer this. Is this Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Rogue, Venture, or Adventure? Because we couldn't make it more confusing. Now, I will have to tell you something about the last 2 questions. They are both kind of difficult. But as we count down here, we got 5 more seconds here to decide which of these games this is. And so, let's take a look here. Adventure is an Atari 2600 game released in 1980 where you played as a square collecting other squares. That's not this game. Venture is a top-down dungeon shooter released in 1981 by Exidy, and it was an arcade classic. It had quite the excellent home port to the ColecoVision the following year. But unfortunately, this is not Venture. Rogue is one of the earliest games that was widely played. It is a dungeon crawler from 1980. A lot of it was done in just keyboard symbols, and it was ported to damn near everything from your iPhone all the way back to the PET computer when I first played it. So, this is, of course, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for the Intellivision. Or to me, more contractually correct, because this is exactly what the cartridge for it says, is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game cartridge for the Mattel Intellivision. Apparently, that phrasing was required by the makers of Dungeons and Dragons. So here we go. This is where they start getting kind of tough, guys. Question 7. Name this game. Very clearly, this is going to be the arcade version of the game. So, is this Ikari Warriors, Commando, Men of War, Red Tide, or Blazing Thunder? Going ahead, think about that here for 10 seconds. Time's up. So, Blazing Thunder is very similar to this, but you spend most of the time in a tank. So, obviously, no tanks, not Blazing Thunder. Men of War Red Tide is a completely different game altogether, from a completely different era. It's more of a strategy, third person. The only thing that it has in common is the concept of war. So, you're stuck asking, is this Commando or Ikari Warriors? Well, Akari Warriors is another game that looks and plays very similar to this, but instead of playing as John Matrix, you also play, or instead of playing as John Matrix, you play as John Rambo. So this is Commando, where you are playing as John Matrix. Listen, I know it's not a movie tie-in game, but growing up, especially in Akari Warriors, where the main character wears a red headband and is shirtless, everybody called it Rambo. And then when you had two players going, it was always Commando. But yes, this is Commando, specifically the arcade version of it. So, here we go. Question 8. We have got this one. So, is this Galaxy at War, Star Strike, Space Battle, or Star Trek? Go ahead, look at that. Take a gander at the photo here. 5 more seconds. Hope you've got your mind made up here, because let's find out what it isn't. So, Galaxy at War is a Star Wars-based real-time strategy game that takes place during the Clone Wars. It's not this. Star Strike is a slightly Star Wars-themed game for the Intellivision with a trench run and bombs and blowing up the planet Earth. Space Battle is a strange first-person space shooter for the Intellivision, but this is quite obviously Star Trek for the Commodore 64. And just in case the bird of prey didn't completely give it away, there's a very distinct white ship on the solar system map there. So here we go. Question number 9. Certainly hope you've got your thinking cap on here. So, ask yourself this. We've got a couple of frogs jumping on lily pads. Is this Frogs and Flies, Frog Bog, a frog game, or Frog Simulator? Go ahead, take a gander. Get 5 seconds here. Time's up, folks. So, Frog Simulator is just a game I made up. A frog game is actually a remake of this released on the Nintendo Switch for the low price of 99 cents. It isn't worth it. Frogs and Flies was released for the Atari 2600 by the M Networks. M Networks was actually just Mattel, and they were releasing their superior version of the game, Frog Bog, on the competition's console. Let me tell you, the early days of home consoles was strange. In my Intellivision collection, I have several games by Coleco, several by Atari Soft. So anytime you see M Networks, that is a clone of an Intellivision game. It's debatable whether or not you think Frog Bog is better than Frogs and Flies. I know they're both camps, mostly due to that infuriating gold disc that we had to play with the Intellivision. But on the other hand, superior graphics. So yes, the answer to question number 9 is Frog Bog. So here we are. Last question of the game. We have ourselves a dragon, dials, numbers, some kind of heads-up display. I told you this one was going to be obscure. So is this Dragon Bane 2, Midnight Dungeon, the Eidolon, or Dungeon Explorer? going ahead. Think about it. I'll give you until another 5 seconds. So, Dungeon Explorer is a dungeon crawler in the vein of Gauntlet, originally released by Hudson for the TurboGrafx 16. It has since seen ports to damn near every platform out there, including the Wii's Virtual Console. It's not this game. Midnight Dungeon is a beautiful retro-styled game. It's just not this. And so, Dragon Bane 2 is a Palm OS game that brought the magic of the Bard's Tale back into the realm of relevance for a very short while, which is exactly how long the Palm remained relevant itself. This is the Eidolon, or Eidolon, however you pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. For the Commodore 64. It was released in 1985 by LucasArts. It saw ports to the ZX Spectrum, MSX, Apple II, the Atari 8-bit family of home computers, and was way ahead of its time, and was scaring the dookie out of us as we were growing up. So, thank you for playing the very first Gaming with Dad Show Quiz of the Week. Our answers were, for number 1, The Bard's Tale, number 2, Pac-Man, number 3, Super Mario Brothers, number 4, Astro Smash, number 5, Impossible Mission, number 6, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons game cartridge for the Mattel and Television, number 7 was Commando, number 8 was Star Trek, number 9 was Frog Bog, and at last, number 10 was the Eidolon. So, thank you very much for your time and everything today. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. If you did, here's a subscription link and some completely random video. And I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Have yourself a good weekend. Bye-bye.